Thankfully, no person has come in contact with rabies, but these documents show that Hill County has had 3 cases alone in 2019 and 30 cases across the entire region. Doctors say whether or not law enforcement administers Narcan is controversial, but if they administer it in the right way and at the right time, it can save lives. Schools say by following the proper CDC sanitary guidelines, they're keeping kids out of their beds and in their seats. People are speculating if this is just another bad cold winter day or a result of global warming. Now, mixed reactions across the nation, including from our president, but climate scientist Katharine Hayhoe broke it down for us. And the National Weather Service says that may just have helped protect this house. An elderly couple is trying to get some changes made at the Lubbock County Courthouse. They say there needs to be more ramps for people with disabilities. Well, time for today's Fact or Fib, where we try to guess what's real and what's a fake in today's health news. Fact or Fib, red meat raises your cholesterol faster.
I've always heard that red meat is a little bit worse than white meat, so I'm going to say fact.
Okay, and you are wrong.
Oh.
No, it doesn't matter whether you eat red meat or white meat. Both have the same effect on blood cholesterol levels. Researchers suggest cutting back on meat just altogether can help lower that cholesterol.
All right, we didn't do too bad today.
We didn't do horrible. I think those ones are a little tricky. The road to a new life wasn't easy for these recovering addicts. Years of family struggles, no job, no money, and what seemed like no way out until they found their home in sober living.
It's been tough, but I feel like today it's been completely worth it because who I am now, sitting here, is somebody that I've always wanted to be.
A hard road that started young.
I initially started drinking when I was probably about 14 or 15.
In my late 20s.
Early middle school.
The life of an addict is a hard reality.
I was pretty average until then, and drugs quickly destroyed everything in my life.
Lost my kids, created utter turmoil in my entire family.
While they say recovery centers are a good first step,
They teach you how to get sober.
But when I would get out, I wouldn't have the support, I wouldn't have the accountability. Slowly I would regress back into addiction.
This group thankful for the sober living homes and years worth of sobriety.
Improving our personal lives, our relationship with Christ, relationship with other people.
They nurtured that part of me that had stopped believing in myself.
But overcoming the stigma of being a recovering addict has its own challenges.
If they just sat down and had a conversation with us, they would understand. You know, we've come from these walks of life, and all we're trying to do is change our life.
The families of these addicts say they had to learn to trust again.
It always says don't judge a book by its cover. That is so true because they're just human beings too. And they're somebody's sister, they're somebody's brother, and they're just trying to get their life back on track.
These brothers and sisters, dads and moms are getting a life back they almost lost.
My son tells me on a daily basis how proud he is of me. And to have a child look at his mother and say, "I'm so proud of you, Mom," that alone makes all of this worth it.
They hope by sharing their stories, they can get rid of the negative stigma around sober living homes. When the kids leave school, custodians start spraying down, targeting those pesky germs.
We had our custodians go in immediately and start cleaning at night. They're being paid to stay extra hours and make sure that all the surfaces are clean.
Slayton ISD's assistant superintendent says in the past week, their attendance hit a low of 82%.
About 1 out of every 3 kids, I think, that are sick in our district right now do have the flu, but it's also strep and sinus infections and stomach flu.
Schools say by following the proper CDC sanitary guidelines, they're keeping kids out of their beds and in their seats.
Use appropriate disinfectants and clean often. Make sure that children are washing their hands, encouraging kids to stay home if they're running a temperature of 100 degrees or more.
Lubbock Cooper ISD saw flu cases double and strep slightly rise since the end of January. Paulette Rosneck, a health administrator at Lubbock ISD, says flu season started later this year, but for them, there's no more cases than they saw last year. That doesn't mean they aren't preparing.
You know, a lot of kids are coughing. The teachers will go and help wipe down the desk. We may contact Germ Blast.
Their main priority, continuing to teach kids how to stay healthy.
They'll sing and tell them to sing happy birthday twice while they're washing their hands.
Tori Larned, KMAC News.